experts in the audience, maybe you'll find in what I'm talking about a model that may be useful for you in marketing your practice. You see, all of us sometimes feel tied down, constrained, and we want to be free. We want more options. But more options aren't always freeing. Sometimes they're debilitating. An option can be freeing if you know what kind of toothpaste you want, and you go right toward it and pick it out. But if you don't know what you want, especially if they're written in a foreign language, you wonder, what should I choose? Even worse is when one of the options is unsafe. If you have a bushel of 25 apples, and I come and I add 10 more apples, maybe some of my apples are better than any of them that you had, but one of my apples is poisoned. What happens to your ability to comfortably choose among those apples? You see, choice and options are only freeing when we have, three words for you, the power to spontaneously choose among useful options. So how do we get this kind of spontaneity? Constraints. So children on a playground, when they have a fence around the playground, will tend to play in the middle, lost with my slides jumping there. So children, when they're on a playground, will tend to be able, that's fine, will tend, without a fence, to play in the center of the playground. Because they're uncertain of what's around the outside, is it safe? And you add a fence and they're able to play broader on the playground. The same is true if you think of that slide with the person holding her knee as we touch into what our own constraints are and how free we can be playing within those. So how do we actually go about getting useful options? We predict. We pay attention to feedback, and then we modify our predictions based on that feedback. And we even when the foundation that we're walking on is uncertain, we're able to select among those useful options. And how do we find power? Well, we find power by being able to carry forward our small successes, and to have one success influence another, and influence another, and influence another. And we can do that because those small successes, in them, we have connected to our own strength. We've modulated our own strength, and we've been able to carry that forward. That knowledge comes deep in our bodies, and that's freeing. That's why I'm so happy, actually, to be a practitioner of the Feldenkrais Method, because the Feldenkrais Method is a way of giving people freedom. We can thank Moshe Feldenkrais, the creator of our method, for, and he's a student of human choice. He's a student of the ways that we can touch into our actions and find freedom. As Feldenkrais practitioners, we're able to help people be free by helping them carry forward those small successes. We're able to create learning experiences by which they can determine what's important to them and reach toward it. We're able to, as Feldenkrais practitioners, create learning experiences by which people can find ways that what they're interested in doing, they have greater potential, greater power to choose among available options spontaneously, without having to think about it, so that they're able to do what they most want to do. So what would freedom look like to you? What would increased freedom look like? Maybe you'd be flying high in the clouds. Maybe freedom is something that to you might be a little bit more mundane, and yet still significant for you. Sometimes the greatest freedoms we can have come from being able to let go of the pain that we have, the meanings that we have attached to painful experiences. And those meanings can sometimes cut more deeply than the pain themselves. Even when the pain doesn't necessarily let go, we can let go of those meanings. Finding freedom also means the ability to make connections. I tell prospective clients, schedule 4 appointments in 2 weeks. If after the 3rd appointment you're satisfied, go and tell 2 other people. If after the 4th appointment you don't find some increase of freedom in a meaningful way to you, I'll give you your money back. I've been making this offer for more than a year. I have yet to give anyone's money back because despite things we cannot guarantee, we can guarantee increased